Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to dive into some thought-provoking questions about how consumer safety is handled in the United States, particularly concerning our food and medical systems. We'll be exploring areas where there's a lot of public discussion and a strong desire for improvement. Consumer safety versus industry profit. First up, let's consider this. Is it fair to say that in the US, there's an ongoing discussion about whether industrial interests are sometimes favored over consumer protection? This is a point frequently debated when looking at regulatory decisions. It also leads us to ask, does the US regulatory framework for food allow for certain additives that are restricted or not permitted in many other developed countries? There is a key difference in how food safety is approached globally. And we can extend that thought. Do similar patterns in regulatory approaches exist within the pharmaceutical industry as well? It's a complex area with varying perspectives on how new medications are brought to market and monitored. Now, let's acknowledge a difficult but recognized reality. Unfortunately, adverse events and mortality associated with medical treatments, even when performed by highly skilled and well-intentioned practitioners, are a significant public health concern each year. This is something that the medical community itself continually strives to reduce. It's also critical to recognize a fundamental truth about medicine: no medication is without potential side effects. For some individuals, these can indeed be significant, sometimes even outweighing the benefits of the treatment itself. That's why informed discussions with your doctor are so important. Moving to vaccines. Did you know that in the US, vaccines, as medical products, are uniquely categorized under the 1986 National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act as unavoidably unsafe? This designation is part of a specific legal framework. And understanding that legal status means recognizing that this designation generally shields vaccine manufacturers from civil liability for vaccine injuries in the US. Individuals seeking compensation for rare vaccine injuries go through a specific government program, the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. This leads to another important question. Do individuals receive truly comprehensive informed consent regarding vaccines, especially if most healthcare providers aren't aware that the government's Vaccine Injury Compensation Program has awarded over $5 billion in damages to vaccine-injured individuals since 1988? It highlights a potential gap in awareness. So, without the traditional threat of civil liability, it raises a relevant question. Are we primarily relying on the integrity of vaccine manufacturers and the vigilance of regulatory oversight, which, like all complex systems, can be subject to external influences, to ensure the highest levels of vaccine safety and development? It's a point that sparks a lot of discussion about accountability. Let's put this into perspective. Just as raising concerns about the nutritional quality or additive content of food in the US is not automatically anti-food, asking thoughtful questions about aspects of the US vaccination program and its regulatory framework should not be equated with being anti-vaccine. It's about seeking understanding and improvement. In both food safety and vaccine regulation, there's always room for continuous improvement. History shows us that public discourse and advocacy, like the public outcry that led to the removal of certain food dyes from products, can drive positive change. Similarly, open discussion can lead to constructive reforms in the US vaccination program. We can strive for continuous improvement by encouraging greater transparency and accountability from both manufacturers and the supervising regulatory bodies. It's about creating systems that serve the public interest as effectively as possible. What are your thoughts on these complex issues? Share your respectful comments below. If you found this discussion insightful, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and click the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching to the end. This video discusses various perspectives on regulatory systems and does not provide medical advice. Consult with healthcare professionals for personal health decisions.